Okay, let's go.
Can't complain, busy. Got some slight changes to sort of to work with, which is good. I like them. They're good changes.
Mhm.
And yeah, just currently in my little gym up in Brad Creek. Just finished a lesson and back in tonight.
You've been bouncing around. You were flying out for ultra white collar boxing as well?
Yeah, so ultra white collars, obviously, it's going to be the sort of premier dominant thing that I'm going to be doing of all the projects, ultra white collar boxing and ultra white collar MMA. So we do have another event this month in Vancouver. Then we're off for the summer as such. In November, we've got 12 events in 1 month.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're going to Montreal. We're going to Ottawa. We've got 4 events in Toronto, all around in London, Markham, Mississauga. We add an MMA event to that. Calgary Boxing, Calgary MMA. Edmonton Boxing, Edmonton MMA. Vancouver again, just for the boxing. And I just about 3 days ago, just managed to secure America. So we're going to venture into Los Angeles in November too. Which
Congrats.
I'm really, really looking forward to.
That's big.
I want to bring white collar boxing to North America. Obviously, being the base in Calgary, we started there. Then we just grew nationally. Then the next step was let's go into America. So worked. I've got a really good working relationship with the guys at Ultra. The head office is in London. Sorry,
Mhm.
actually in England, in Derby, and obviously me, business partner Tina. We've actually took on my wife. Actually, now starts to work for admin for us, so that team is growing.
Nice.
Probably have to add some more staff with how it's going.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're already booking March 2025. So it looks like in March 2025 we'll probably have about 25 cities in 1 month, which is insane. But it's a very different concept, right? It's a beautiful concept. It's a really, for me, it's one of those ones where you have fun from the moment it starts to the moment it finishes. Everyone involved, whether it's the commission, whether it's the coaches, the gyms, the fighters, the charity groups that we work with, and of course ourselves, or even the venue, of course, add into that. Everybody walks away extremely happy. And that hasn't been the easiest thing because we've had to do some steps towards that, right?
Mhm.
We've had to do some steps. We've had to get this new concept into Canada, into North America. This concept's been running for 10 years in UK, so everybody's used to it and what it is in the system. But it's very, it's slightly different from standard boxing. The rules are slightly different, which of course, we've had to have plenty of sit downs with certain people in certain positions, right? But as soon as the event finishes and people do reviews, Boxing Canada especially are really delighted with us. And Boxing Alberta and Boxing Ontario, we've built up really good relationships with them.
I can't believe the amount it's raised as well for cancer.
Yeah.
The charities you guys are doing.
Well, I mean, we started March last year, Calgary. We then launched it into Toronto, Vancouver, March this year. And then we did another 4 events this last month, effectively. And I think we're up to about $330,000. So
Wow.
by the end of the year, because we keep running the charities past the events as well.
Mhm.
So by the end of the year, I have certain aims with, bringing it to different cities and making brand new relationships and networking. But one of my big aims, if not the number one aim, is to get to $1 million. If I can get to $1 million by the end of the year, that is a big, big box ticked. And I actually said Christmas last year and the year before. The year before was I wanted to give back to the community. Then
Mhm.
this year was I'm giving back to the community and charities and people that are less off than me, or in worse positions than me. But this year, I want to really, really make an impactful difference. And I think $1 million is an impactful difference.
Oh, we got a third of the way there, 1,000% already. That's
Yeah. No, we
yeah.
will. I think we'll come very close to it because, for example, like Montreal is absolutely bananas. The amount of entrants we're going to have, and the amount of participants, boxers. We'll probably have to do a double event, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, because people are seeing that this is such a great thing. Yeah, not just because of the charities, right?
Mhm.
It's because of the physicality of the challenge, the mentality of the challenge. We're getting people off. We're getting people off sofas, right?
Yeah.
We're getting them off sofas. We're getting them off couches. They're stopping drinking, they're stopping smoking, they're stopping doing anything silly, even if it's just for a short time. We're making them join a local gym. They join a local gym. They get into a community, which is great for the mental health and physicality of it. They become part of Boxing Canada. So even if after the event they never fight again, I can guarantee they'll be a fan of boxing or MMA.
Mhm.
And for me, that increases the community. A lot of the guys actually join memberships. They become a member of the gym. Some of the guys, they just, when another event comes into town, they'll buy tickets, right?
Yeah.
They'll come and watch the show. So there's such a big sort of mass that this does. This isn't just about doing an event and that's it.
Mhm.
There's so much more to it, right? We had a guy who fought in MMA a couple of weeks ago. Had a big crowd of him, huge crowd of him. And he was an older guy. He was in his late 40s. And so I'm just switching the lights off. He's in his late 40s and he raised over 10 grand himself for suicide awareness
Mhm.
In Canada. And, he did it not just because of a challenge to himself and, competing in front of his friends and family. He actually did it because he wanted to raise that awareness for people. Yeah.
Mhm.
And what a great feeling,
Yeah.
After he got his hand raised, he won, which is obviously added bonus. But what a great feeling to do all of that as well.
Yeah, you kind of these people get to have like a Rocky moment almost, like get off the couch, start training,
Absolutely.
have that big hands raised moment. Guys in the UFC talk about that, even if it's not a world title level fight, just having that
Yep.
moment right there, it's massive, 100%.
Yep.
Any news on the one championship front for because I know Jake is obviously looking for a fight right away. But for Cody and
Fight with,
Taylor as well.
yeah, no, they've both got fights. So Jake's got a fight at the end. Yeah, he's got a fight in a few months. I'm not allowed to say where or what, but
Yeah,
I can tell you he's got a fight.
nice.
We actually got offered something Sunday. So we got offered something Sunday. He
Nice.
immediately accepted, as Jake does.
Yeah,
So he'll be back in action very soon.
beautiful.
Which is
Taylor got
awesome.
injured there, so
Yeah, so we did have a potential for Taylor.
Mhm.
And I've got to turn the aircon on. It's hot in here, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where you are, but it's boiling hot. So we had a potential for Taylor, but it's just too short notice with the injury.
Mhm.
So we're just waiting now for a call, but I think we're going to get a call very soon about her and hopefully get a bout or two before the end of the year.
Beautiful.
And Cody is fighting. I'll tell you this, but I can't tell you where. Sorry, as in terms of which one.
Mhm.
But I can tell you he's got an amazing fight coming up, which I think is going to get announced after this weekend. And it's in America. That's all I can say. But
No
he signed the
way.
contract. Yeah, he signed the
No
contract a while
way.
ago now. And we're just waiting now for that to be announced. So that should be announced. That should be announced in in next week, I think. So it's going to be a real big fight. And I personally think Cody always he just he's got one of those ways of winning, right?
Yeah,
He just
yeah,
knows he knows how to win.
yeah.
That's how that goes. So yeah. it's going to be one of those fights where I think Peter's going to raise a few eyebrows, and he's going to just be like, "Wow, this is a big fight." But if anyone can do it, it's this guy. He's got
Well,
he's just got the balls. He's got
it
the
seems
heart.
it
Yeah,
seems like they're not against, for a one debut, they'll give you a like a massive fight. Like look at Alex Roberts, his first fight
yeah,
that was against a
yeah,
massive opponent. So
yeah.
yeah, a
But
big debut.
they're very unsimilar. With UFC, they sort of build you up in one hand, right?
Yeah,
Or boxing, where they try and build you up. In their opinion, Cody already is a world champion from another sport. From another organization. So get all the champions fighting each other, right? And put them in big fights. And if you show that you can do it, and you show willing and heart, then that's what they're like, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So the next Muay Thai World Cup, I know I've been seeing a lot of Victor Capollo
Hmm.
fighting November.
Yep. So we moved it to Ontario. We were going
Okay.
to do it at our usual event where you've been, Grey Eagle.
Yeah.
We've moved it to Ontario. I had a discussion with Fitzpatrick,
Yeah.
and we just decided, you know what? How about I like breaking some waves, right? Let's do something a bit different. Let's take Muay Thai World Cup to Ontario. There's a big fan base there. There's lots of gyms. There's lots of Muay Thai kickboxing enthusiasts, fight fans actually.
Yeah.
So if we can get pro Muay Thai there, I said to Michael, you could have it as the final if your guy wins. So his guy won. We had a few discussions with over in Ontario on the reservation there. We managed to get it passed, which is awesome.
Wow.
And the final will take place there, November the 23rd.
Beautiful.
So I'm stoked about it because it's not just about being in the new city in a town, but it's also for Victor, it's in his hometown as such, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So although it adds some pressure, it also adds some home comforts to him. So
Rise, like Rise
and
shows the fans that they bring. Like Rise of the Warrior, they have a big turnout. Like that's
well, he knows what he's doing, Michael, with that, right? He's got all the
yeah.
contacts for it. But again, what do you do? Do you just want to do Rise shows for the rest of your life? Do you want to do just amateur fights?
Mhm.
Or should we really fucking push the boat?
Yeah.
Let's have some pro fights. Let's get some WBC titles. Let's get some domestic clashes. We want to see big fights.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want to see big fights, right? And then add that road to one final. Then for me, it's gonna up his game.
Before we get into anything, I just wanted to. Did you watch one last night, or did you see any highlights?
Yeah, of course. You're always gonna have an interest for fighters that which
Mhm.
is first of all Ellis Barboza, who won, which was awesome.
Mhm.
Good fight. He fought a good level guy there too. Got away with the win, which was great. And then of course Nico Carrillo put on an incredible performance. Do you know what the thing is with Saenchai? He blows hot and cold, and this is not to discredit Nico in any way. He
Mhm.
blows hot and cold. Sometimes he's awesome, other times he's not. It's like he's in it but not in it sometimes.
Mhm.
Um, and that's how he can be. But he's very dangerous. Got great overhand right. But Nico was another level.
Yeah. Yeah. He touched him, and Nico did get clipped, but he came back, and it was great. Even the main event of the Friday card, Nabil Anan
And
versus
Nabil was like a bit of a freak.
that is.
Like if you were that tall, for Muay Thai it's good,
Mhm.
but with the little gloves, it's very difficult sometimes, right? Because you're used to you're clinching with knees, and the teeps are a bit of a Muay Thai different style. But he's only 19 or something, isn't he? 20.
Yeah, young guy.
Um, so he's got lots and lots and lots of time to work with, right? And he got the contract. Good luck to him. He's managed and trained with Mehdi Zahu as well down at the Venom camp. So he's got a great future, that kid. And when he starts to really dig into his shots and understands the difference between the 8 or 10 ounce gloves to the 4 ounce, which I think he's started to learn now, I think he's going to be a killer.
Yeah, and perfect matchup with Kulabdam because usually those guys, those taller guys, get clipped by an overhand left or an
Yeah,
overhand that's usually up.
especially in the clinch with those little gloves, right?
And he did.
And Dam's another one. He blows hot and cold, but when he's hot, he's fucking, so good name for him to win, and fair play to him. But you know what he is really good for is taller fighters that that are Muay Thai specialists that want to venture into the one rules. That there are options, right? You don't just have to be a puncher, but you have to be very wary of different things that the two gloves represent, right? And I think he really works it out, and he's had a good 4 or 5 fights, I think, now in one.
He beat
So,
Tyson Harrison, and Tyson's really
yeah,
good. Like
yeah,
he's
Tyson's really good.
like you
Yeah,
said, two of them is fucking is
yeah,
fucking yeah. And then
yeah.
last thing, the Team Canada yesterday. I don't know if you saw that soccer game. That was
What sport's that? What's that? What sport's that?
soccer,
No, what sport's that?
football. My bad, my bad. There
Correct.
you go, there
Correct.
you go.
Right, right, get it right now. Yeah, no, awesome for them. Like Copa America semi-finals against Argentina next. But what's happening now is, I mean, England just won too, so
Mm,
they're into the semis as well. Um, what's I'm really seeing with sports, especially, is the athleticism.
mm,
Like these and the team Canada is very young, England's very young, the teams, and they're more emphasis on strength and speed more than skill now. And I suppose the IQ will come later, but it's a very different game to when I was growing up. You had different style of players. You had more individual players like the Zidanes to Roberto Baggio's to obviously the Maradonas um, to those sort of era of players,
mm.
that were a bit wild as such and free. And now a lot of the players are very much like in tune with their health, in tune with more of a strategy. And of course, let's not forget the amount of money involved. It's
Yeah,
more of a business than ever before. So something like a dive that you could do and get away with, if you get away with it, you can basically, it's millions of pounds or dollars, whatever you
yeah,
want to say, right?
yeah. That's
Um, yeah. Anyway, let's go back to real sports fighting.
yes, 100%. Let's do it. So, a lot of stuff happening coming up, especially with us as well.
Yeah. So I want to, and you're going to get the exclusive on this. So um, I've been working the last short bit of time with the Thailand Tourism, WBC Muay Thai, of course, and their team. Um, and I several months ago, the WBC did a masterclass in the UK. It was sort of like a trial for them, and it was a mass success. I, of course, being me, just made an inquiry. Hey, I want to bring this to my hometown. We've got a big following. Let's do it. So we started talking back and forward, and they're going to do, as I announced last week, they're going to be doing like a world tour. They're stopping in various different countries: USA, Italy. I think Germany's on the list, but there's several different countries. And I was like, my hand up. What about me? Get me involved.
Hmm.
So we went back and forward, and I'm very pleased to announce September the 21st at the Grey Eagle Hotel, which will be in the conference center, which I've done events before. It's not the event center, it's the conference center in the hotel. And we're going to be hosting a master's seminar with, first of all, there's 3 Muay Thai legends. The first one being female superstar Duangdaonoi. She's a multiple time world Muay Thai champion. She's very famous on social media for various different reasons. One of them being actually her sister's married to Rod Tang, but she's actually the better fighter of the sisters, right?
Oh,
Duangdaonoi. Um, Second of all, the next superstar is we're bringing back Saenchai, the goat. You know, his seminar was massive when we bought him a couple of summers ago. So he's coming back, and what a character he is.
yeah.
And third, which is and no disrespect to the other two, but I'm most excited about because he's never been and taught a seminar in Canada, is we are bringing the legend superstar, um, WBC champ, multiple times world champ, Rajlam champ, Lumpini champ, Yodsanklai Fairtex, who I've seen fight live a few times, and I've actually sparred him multiple times too. And he is an absolute legend. But it doesn't stop there. The seminar is going to consist of course, the 3 seminars. So 3 superstars will be doing seminars. There's an opening ceremony, which is going to run from the morning. And then just before that, with all the registrations, everyone's going to be getting gifts, etc., from the legends. There'll be a seminar. There'll be a lunch as well, so a Thai lunch. Then we have our second seminar. Just after the second seminar, we're going to do a prize giveaway.
Mhm.
Then there's our third seminar, and then we're going to be having a dinner with a Q&A with all the stars. So it's actually a whole day event. It's literally going to start
Wow.
9 in the morning, finish at 6 p.m. You're going to get lunch and dinner for a whole price of a ticket, right? So it's a whole day event.
Bringing a solid piece of Thailand to Canada here, man. And it's the influence that the raising of the bar has had on these gyms, like I haven't been to Thailand. Like Nathaniel's there right now, but sitting in one of the gyms earlier this week, it just felt like that's slowly coming here. It's so nice to have.
Development, it's not something that happens overnight, and I'll just watch what I sort of say next. I haven't come here and created Muay Thai to Canada. I know that, right? There was already good coaches here.
Mhm.
There's already good knowledge. There were some solid fighters. All I've done is just added what I know on top of it, right? Which is years in the business, networking, of course, being a former fighter myself, and working development with all of those fighters over the years. And then, of course, I was into commentary, which I commentated over 300 live events around the world. And then, of course, gym owning. This isn't an overnight thing, right? Obviously, I came to Canada with big expectations, but more of myself than anyone else, you know?
Mhm.
However, as I found with humans, we're resilient, and I've raised the bar and everybody's come up with me. I love that, you know? Not just with the Muay Thai World Cup, but we brought over all the legends in the past. Giorgio Petrosian came over originally. Then we had Andy Sauer, Damien Trainer, Nong O, just big names that came over, right?
Mhm.
And the whole idea was development and awareness, getting the youth involved, bringing WBC youth here, going all the way from grassroots to amateur to pro. And with this masterclass, it's actually going to be a whole weekend. It's actually a WBC convention. So it's going to have the masterclass as one of the days. There's going to be a referee and judges courses for WBC also.
Mhm.
And then on the Sunday, we're going to launch WBC Boxing. And we are going to launch the WBC Cup, which is just an amateur cup,
Yeah.
just for boxers. Again, boxing in Canada is decent. Again, it doesn't have the platform. So we're just going to highlight it a bit more with the media and marketing, which is the superpower, which is WBC,
Mhm.
which everybody knows. But we're very, very proud and honoured that we're going to be hosting the WBC Cup with boxing legend, Hall of Famer, Roberto Duran. So Roberto Duran is coming to Calgary on Sunday, the 22nd of September. So what a weekend that is, right? The Muay Thai, WBC
Wow.
Muay Thai on the Saturday, 3 Muay Thai legends. Sunday, we're bringing boxing legend Roberto Duran. And, we're going to have a very small show on the Sunday, but those boxers are going to be able to compete in front of the legend Roberto Duran.
That's
So that'd be amazing. We're going to do a meet and greet with him, all of that. And we're very honoured, proud. I mean, he's one of my idols too, growing up. Don't get me wrong, I've never met him. So,
Mhm.
but what a weekend that's going to be, And you want to put Canada on the map. It's not just me, it's people that participate, it's people that are aware to this, right? People like
Mhm.
yourself that want to push this and understand the greater value this does on the long term effects.
Mhm.
We could rewind a little bit here, and with the Muay Thai World Cup, and then we worked with WBC, we created WBC champions. We then brought in the Road to One, and look at those guys now, like amazing. And I couldn't be happier for them either. So, and this is what we need. We need the impact. We need the tourism. We need the attention,
Mhm.
and the drive. And to be honest with you, I just thought it was a bit of a sleeping giant here. That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
a sleeping giant, and I just woke it up and said, "Let's let's do this." You know.
Yeah. Well, even
Yes.
getting into this, anyone I've spoken with outside of the sport that doesn't know about it, I'm like, just give it some time. Like we're on like a landmine, like a nuclear
Yeah.
landmine, basically. Like it's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
or explode. Like we're especially
Oh
again,
yeah.
like you said, with these three that won the tournament. Seeing Cody go in there, seeing Taylor go in there, seeing Jake already get a second run at it.
Yeah.
And then what's coming next as well, it's massive, man. It's massive. And it's yeah, like you said, honored for that to be happening in our country. And
Yeah.
even for it to be
It's attention. It's all
yeah,
we want is to get the
yeah,
attention,
yeah,
highlight, highlight them. And if you want to step up to the mark and someone wants to step up to the mark, brilliant.
yeah.
That's exactly what I want, you know? And it rejuvenates, it rejuvenates a lot of things, not just gyms in Alberta, because obviously the show's going to be in, the event's going to be in Calgary, but it rejuvenates everywhere. It
Hmm.
gives an injection of life to everywhere. It inspires people to join gyms. Not just my gym,
Yeah.
not just local gyms, gyms all around the country. That's the whole aim of this. So 5, 10 years, we have another conversation and we're like, look at us now.
Hmm.
We've got an army. We can
Hmm.
send we can send a group of fighters to Thailand, and there's 50, 60 fighters. We can send a group of boxers to a WBC Cup in another country. We've got 100 boxers. That's
Serious
the
one,
conversation.
like high
That's the
level guy.
conversation we're having in 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years' time, we'll be having that conversation. There'll
Yeah.
be sponsors, there will be investments, there will be drives, there will be coaches that will be very experienced that will be able to take teams, and we're going to be bringing back gold medals. And that's exactly the end goal, right? Is to have not just one superstar, multiple superstars, boxing and Muay Thai, that have either watched something like this or gone to a seminar or met a legend and gone, right, join your local gym, boom.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden, 5 years' time, they've turned pro, they've signed a deal, and they're fighting in the big shows around the world. This is the platform that WBC can do.
Like, most important thing you said there, man, is it's not just raise it, everyone that is involved in it, it raises everyone up. If you're
Yeah,
involved in the sport in any way, it brings you up. So
yeah. Yeah,
that's
it's goals, yeah, it's
yeah,
goals.
yeah.
It's okay joining a gym. What's your goal? Oh, I want to get fit. Okay, that's great. And then you start to get fit.
Hmm.
Oh, what's your next goal? Oh, do you know what? I'd like to learn a little bit more. So they start to learn a bit more, get the IQ. Do you know what? I want to fight. So they fight.
Hmm.
So then what's next? I'd like to win a belt. Okay. So what does the belt give you? Oh, I don't know. Now it's like, well, actually, there's tournaments.
Hmm.
You can win tournaments. You can win a WBC title. But this time, instead of being on a small scale publicity, it's a big scale publicity where there's media attention. All of a sudden, you get called out. You get into rankings. Next step is, right, we're going on the world stage, right? And this is not just a Muay Thai, this is boxing too. So is that development that you can get through the circuits. And I've said it before, but all the other sports, whether it's hockey, football, um, basketball, there's regular tournaments, right? That's what we need. We need more competitiveness. If there isn't competition, if there isn't a target, these people will give up the sports.
Yeah.
So by giving good attention, by giving a potential goal to actually make a career from this, that's something that warms my heart, but gets everybody involved.
Fucking rights. Fucking rights, man.
So
Is there anything else? Is
yeah,
there anything else that
no, that's I've got nothing else. You've drained
beautiful?
me of all
Yeah,
my
that
information.
that was
So
enough, eh? That was fucking
yeah,
rights,
that's
man.
enough.
Well, I know you just wanted to do a
So
quick
good.
one, but yeah,
Yeah,
thanks
no,
for
we'll do it quick. And again, let's announce that as soon as the actual official announcement comes out
yeah.
on I believe Monday. We're going to have tickets released on Friday. We're going to do some early bird stuff, right?
Okay.
And then it's going to sell out, so it's going to be
Okay.
great.
Perfect. I'll just make
Cool.
I'll make some big ads that will
Yep.
big news
Oh
Monday,
yeah.
whatever the hell.
I'll
So
give you some stuff for it. No props.
sounds good, man. All right, brother. You take
Take
care.
care, so.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Cheers.